Cities are all different. They have unique strengths, they have unique personalities, and the populations of a city want different things. And so the successful plans, whether it's about sustainability or architecture or whatever it is, understand and encapsulate that local personality. We find it in New York, we find it in cities around the world, that transit is generally most accessible to the wealthier neighborhoods. And so we have to make a conscious effort to improve the transit links for lower income neighborhoods. That's one. The second is technological access, right? If you have lower income people who do not have access to smartphones, to the internet, they are going to be disadvantaged. For a public administration to be really sustainable, it has to be well organized internally. Right, so the individuals have to be incentivized and managed well. That means they have to be held to the highest standards of transparency to keep things clean. They have to be able, though, to make a decent living, right? And one of the problems you have all over the world is when civil servants are actually underpaid, right? And then that underpayment leads to the justification for asking less of them, right? And so if your teachers or if your bus drivers are underpaid, people will say, well, how do we expect them to produce? But in fact, the way you get them to be worth more is to manage them aggressively, just like you do in a well-run private corporation. When Brazil had the height of its crime problems in major cities, what do you see in every rich neighborhood in Sao Paulo? You see big walls around the apartment building, right? Which indicates that the private space is good and the shared space is not good, right? And that's a terrible indictment of how those cities were run for a long period of time. There's still a long ways to go. There's still a long ways to go here in New York because the city is a very complex organization. But nonetheless, I think you can judge the quality of a city's government by the condition of its shared assets.